Okay, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would film a little what I read this year so far, because one of my New Year's goals was to read more, and I've definitely accomplished that. I've read 7 books so far this year, and I have loved every single one of them. First book I read this year was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So good. And I rated it 4.5 stars. It's romance, and it tracks all of their summers together. I think it goes 12 summers back. Yeah. And then pretty much they haven't talked now in 2 summers, and in the present summer they're meeting up for Alex's brother's wedding, and so they see each other, and we get to go back like each chapter or so back into however many summers ago and get to see each of their summers together. It is the epitome of friends, lovers, slow burn. Like, so good. I loved reading it. I finished it so fast. They have a movie out as well on Netflix. Movie, really good. Not as good as the book. Read the book. So good though. I freaking loved it. Always kept me intrigued, always had me wanting to read. Loved. Second book I read this year was Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Oh, I rated this 5 stars. I rated it 5 stars. So good. Romance. And it tracks Liz and Wes, who are neighbors. They're in high school. They're neighbors, but they're enemies as well. A little bit of enemies. And there's this guy that moves back into town, and Liz has a crush on him and wants to get with him, and so she kind of entices Wes almost with like a sort of bribe, I guess, to help her get the guy that she likes. And it pretty much tracks the whole story of that process, and it is just the epitome of also enemies. It's like literally the perfect combination of everything. You have enemies to lovers, you have friends to lovers, you have slow burn. What more could you want, bro? What more could you want in romance? It is so good. So I rated this 5 stars, obviously, and I loved it. I had a great time reading it. I read it in 2 days. It had me wanting to pick it up constantly. Also had so many songs in there, which I love. I loved it because I would put on the song and I literally would feel like I was in the book. I was like, yes, because all the songs the author used were perfect. They were perfect. And there's even like a little soundtrack for them at the end. So good. She ate with that. But I loved it. I was kicking my feet the whole time reading it, and it was so good. So that leads me to the 3rd book I've read this year, which is the 2nd book of this, Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. So good. I rated this 5 stars as well, and I struggled with my rating a bit because I didn't know if I liked, because I rated them both 5 stars obviously, but I like this one a bit more, and I've heard that's an unpopular opinion, but I like this one more. I feel like, okay, it tracks them now in college, and something happens, like a tragedy, I guess, and so they're non-speaking terms anymore. Liz and Wes, they're non-speaking terms, and pretty much Wes has this plan to get Liz back. He wants to get Liz back, and so it goes through that whole plan. So again, it's giving enemies to lovers again, friends to lovers, slow burn. So good. But I feel like this one is also both of their POVs. So we get Wes's POV in this one, which I feel like just cherry on top for me, because I wanted that in the first book, and so I feel like that was amazing in this book. I was like, yes. But it was so good, and I feel like that's part of the reason I also like this one a bit better. There's just something about it that made me like it better, and I'm not sure why, but I think it's definitely because we got more of what Wes was thinking, and I love that. And it was a bit more emotional, a bit more raw, and they were grown up, which I felt like was cool. We got character development. I feel like it was all just good. Again, there were songs in it. Loved. Read this again also in 2 days. What can I say? So good, so good. Definitely gonna have to reread this, but I loved, and I would definitely recommend this and the first one to anyone. So good, especially if you are a romance person, and everyone watching has probably read this. If not, go pick it up right now. So good. The fourth book I read this year is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and I rated this 4.5 stars. I loved this book. It was so good. It's like a mix of fantasy and fiction. It's like not extreme fantasy, which I feel like I kind of like that because I haven't really dived into fantasy yet, but I feel like it would not be my favorite genre, but it had like a subtle little bit of fantasy to it, which I think I liked. But I'm gonna read the back of this one because I feel like the back just is so good. We all have regrets, choices we could have made differently, paths we didn't take, other lives we might have led. But what if you were given the chance to fix your past? Enter the Midnight Library. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then, at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to the Midnight Library, where each book contains an alternate life, a possible world in which she had made different choices. She is given what seems like the ultimate opportunity, a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. But things aren't always as she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, what is the best way to live? This book, I feel like, okay, so it goes in, like it said, we're in Nora's POV. She pretty much goes to the Midnight Library, which is like a place in between life and death almost, and there's all these books about, and each one has a different life she could have lived if she made a different choice or a different decision, and she gets pretty much transported into that book, into that life, and she gets to see how that life would have played out. And I feel like, because obviously everyone thinks like, oh my gosh, if I did this differently, my life would have been so different or turned out so different, and we sometimes think that it could be turning out so great. In reality, yeah, some might turn out great, some might turn out bad, not how you thought. And so it goes through so many of decisions that she could have made differently, and I feel like what I really liked about this book is I felt like I was sort of in the book in a way. It was very easy reading, and it put me in the shoes of Nora very well, and so I felt like I was kind of like in the life with her, which I loved, and I highlighted so much in this book because I was like, it was just too good. And one of them says, you don't have to understand life, you just have to live it, and I love that. I feel like this was just like character development next level, so good, had you thinking about your own life. It was just amazing. I loved it. 4.5 stars. So good. The fifth book that I've read this year, I've been reading online, and I haven't actually finished it yet, so I probably shouldn't even be including it in this video, but I know I'm gonna finish soon, and I already know what I'm reading it because it is so good. I'm rating it 5 stars. It's called God Has a Name by John Mark Comer. Christian genre, obviously. And like I said, I haven't even finished this book, but it's so good, and I've been reading it on my iPad, so I feel like that's why I haven't finished it yet. But I'm like a little bit more than halfway through, and I'm already loving it. I'm thinking about it all the time. So good. But it pretty much takes us through, obviously, like the title, how God has a name and what that means for us. And it also is based all on Exodus 34 verses 6 through 7, which says, the Lord passed in front of Moses, calling out, Yahweh the Lord, the God of compassion and mercy. I am slow to anger and filled with unfailing love and faithfulness. I lavish unfailing love to 1,000 generations. I forgive iniquity, rebellion, and sin. But I do not excuse the guilty. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children and grandchildren. The entire family is affected, even children in the 3rd and 4th generations. But it is so good, and I've been reading it in like little chunks, I guess, And after I read every chunk, I'm literally like thinking about it. It's changed my relationship with God. It has genuinely been such a good read, and it doesn't sound too like theological. It's a very easy read. It's very easy to understand. So like I said, I'm not even done with it, so maybe in my next book video I will talk a little bit more about it, but I have loved that so far. Sixth book I've read this year is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book I rated a 3.5. I feel like it was a good book. I would probably recommend it depending on the person. If you like good murder, mystery, that type of stuff, I would recommend it. But I'm gonna read the back because I feel like it explains it really well. But also, me and my friends are reading this book together, and it's a 4-book series actually, and so I think we're just gonna keep going on with the series. But the back says, 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piecing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is until the FBI comes knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. What Cassie doesn't realize is there's more at risk than a few unsolved homicides, especially when she is sent to live with a group of teens whose gifts are unusual as her own. Soon it becomes clear that no one in her Naturals program is what they seem. And when a new killer strikes, danger looms close. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with a killer, the Naturals are going to have to use all their gifts just to survive. Like I said, I rated it 3.5. It was good. I feel like it definitely had me wanting to pick it up, but it was kind of a hard start, and I the end brought it all together really good. The end was amazing. Major plot twist I did not expect at all. That was really good. But I feel like before that plot twist, nothing really interesting was happening. It was just all kind of felt like filler things until we got to that big, like the end, and things started to pick up and it was getting intense. But before that, not much was really happening, but it was also good. So that's why I gave it a 3.5. But I think I'm definitely going to continue reading the series. But yeah, nothing special, but it was still a really good book. My 7th and last book that I've read this year so far is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. And I actually just finished this book yesterday. I rated it 3.7 stars. And it pretty much tracks these 2 writers, Hayden and Alice, and they're both going to write a biography about this famous, they describe her as like a tabloid princess, this famous woman that has now disappeared for 20 years and lives like this secret life in a little coastal island in Georgia. And so they go to write a biography about her. They kind of fall in love in the process, and they're interviewing her, and so we get to track her life as well. Her name's Margaret, and we get to see her extremely wealthy family, how the wealth started, all of that stuff. And I think it goes all the way back to like the beginning of their family, back to her great grandfather, I want to say. But it was really good. It just wasn't like, when I was reading it, I was really interested. It was great, but then I put it down and I wasn't like dying to pick it back up. Did have a plot twist at the end. So it was like a romance, but it was also like I wouldn't know how to describe it. It was, I don't know. It was romance, but it also was kind of like mystery-ish, because there was like some things we didn't really know about what we found out at the end. And it was good, but it was interesting, and I would definitely recommend it. The ending was so good though. I feel like that's the part I enjoyed most about this book. Kind of like the last one, the ending is really kind of what tied it all together for me, and it was one of those ones that ends with the title of the book, which I love that. I feel like it just wraps everything up so perfectly. So yeah, that is all the books that I have read so far this year, and I can't wait to read more. If you'll have any recommendations, please comment them down below because I will love to hear them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.